Welcome back to the Artists Forum. I'm your host, Dyllon Burnside, and with us we have painter, sculptor, and illustrator Sonia Stark. Welcome to the Artists Forum, Sonia.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. So, talk to me a little bit about what inspires Sonia Stark. What do you find in your life and in the world that inspires you to begin working on a piece?
Basically, everything.
Okay.
And nothing. Being an artist is something that where you just have to go, be there, show up, and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever comes in from the outside world just sort of just comes in almost beside you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where the art comes from. I don't know where or why it comes, but it just, if I show up, it comes. And that's about it.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Julia Cameron, she has written a book, I don't know if you're familiar with it, called The Artist's Way.
Yes.
And in it, she deals a lot with this idea of showing up to the page. Especially as a writer, and just writing things down and letting it move through you. And she operates under the belief that you don't necessarily have to know what you're going to say, but you just have to write, and whatever comes out is what comes out, and it's worthy. Is that kind of how you find yourself approaching?
Yes, it's very much so. But I think until you get there, you've had to have a lot of training and a lot of studying, a lot of hard work. And then you can go and let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't feel that one just sits down and does it. You really do have to have the background.
So what was your background? Talk to us a little bit about your training and your educational history.
Actually, I started without the training.
Okay.
And worked commercially for many years.
Doing?
Design and in the agencies. I was there in Mad Men.
I see.
I was there at that time.
Was it that fabulous?
Yes. Well, I don't know about fabulous, but it was not a woman's world, and but it was an interesting world. But in order to leave that world, I went back to school,
mm-hmm.
and then I went to Cooper Union.
Yes.
And then. After that, I started freelancing, and then it grew from there. I started an agency, actually freelancing, and then it developed and it grew and became an agency.
In your education, what was the most pivotal moment for you that kind of transformed you as an artist? You spoke a little bit about needing to have the training and the education before you can get to that place. When was that moment where you felt like, I have enough, I know what I'm doing enough to kind of feel my way through this?
It's not even knowing enough. It's a matter of being secure enough to say, I can say what I want to say. Mm. It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's not saying I know enough and I'm going to do it. You can do that commercially, but when it comes to the art, you can't do that. But what it does, you feel secure that you can make a statement, and it's valid. That's the only way I could explain it.
Wow, that's really, really poignant. I think for most artists that I've spoken with, there is definitely this sense of confidence especially in their words and in speaking about the art and knowing what their point of view is. So to hear you say that really resonates with me. You mentioned a little bit about how you aren't really sure what's going to happen, and it kind of shows up next to you and mm-hmm. just kind of takes over and has a life of its own. When do you know when you're done with it? When you
there's nothing more that you can do to it. You can't destroy it anymore.
Yeah.
No. When you really, when there's just not another line that you can put on the thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
And as an artist who works in multiple mediums,
Yes.
how do you move through the different mediums? How do you determine what you're going to do?
It's in showing up, coming in and sort of deciding. And it depends also if I have a model or if I don't have a model, and it really depends on that. I really don't know.
So are you working every day? Is that typically?
I try.
Okay.
I have, I should explain that I had a family. That's how the agency got started. I had children, and I couldn't hit a deadline, so I had to hire people to hit the deadline. And still today, I have a family and children, and that's takes up a great deal of space. So it may not be every day, but as often as I can be in there.
And when you show up, what is it? Do you have a studio space?
Yes.
Or, so when you show up to the studio, what happens? What happens when you step into that sacred space?
It's not very sacred. It's very messy.
Okay.
And I go in and I usually start straightening up.
Okay.
And then I don't know, then it sort of starts happening, and you slowly pick up a piece of paper, pick up the clay or whatever.
Okay.
Unless you have in commercial work, you have a goal. You have to do this head, or you have to do this illustration, or you have to do this layout, and it has to be done by Tuesday morning. And in the art, you don't function that way. So for someone like me, that's not good, because I will tend to wander from one to the other, and I don't know. And how shall we say it? I just start, and then it sort of goes, as I said, takes over. It's a different brain. The commercial brain is where you're solving other people's problems. They're what they need, visually. And when you're doing your own work, it's your own problems that you're solving. And that's where I say it sort of comes in, and I don't know where it comes from.
Sure. So to a young artist who has just moved to New York this year, and they're watching tonight, and they are trying to find their way as an artist. They maybe have a studio apartment, and they're just trying to figure out what this thing is. I know a lot of artists tend to feel like they have issues with procrastination, or they can never get work done, or it's always just like in process and they can never figure out what it is. It sounds to me, hearing from someone as accomplished as you, that that's all a part of it and it's something that should be embraced. Is that how you feel?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And especially for young artists, they're doubting themselves constantly. That's the hard part. And also the young person that's coming in, they're trying to make a living, they're trying to support themselves. And no one tells them they're great and you're the first person that's, you're going to be in the museums next month, and it's not going to happen. And so you just really have to produce the work, do the work, and in the end, it will sort of work itself out. It's how to say it. It's the work that counts. That's all that counts. The rest of it doesn't. Your life, and it sounds crazy, but your life does not count. It's what you've done, what you're doing, doesn't matter. In the end, it's only the piece of work.
Right. And according to you, that is coming, it just comes. It just comes.
Yeah, it does.
And so what would be your piece of advice, your encouragement to that artist who is in that place where they feel stuck, where they feel frustrated and discouraged because they can't seem to get it done, and they don't know where the inspiration is coming from, and what is your...
Embrace it. Embrace that feeling of not knowing. Don't be frightened. I think that's a big thing. Don't be frightened, especially for someone young. And again, show up. Just do the work. Throw it away. Don't. That's another thing. Everything you do is not precious. So if you start and it's not working, that's okay, because the next one will work or not. But if you keep working at it, it will eventually work. Something will come up.
Yes. You have a piece called Family that is remarkable. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Talk to me just a little bit about where that came from for you. When did you work on it? How long did it take you to finish it? What was that process like for you?
That actually, typical, it started out as a pure abstraction.
Okay.
And as I worked through it, again, I don't know where it came from, but it took on this other feeling about the mother, the child, and the man. I seem to focus, while I'm an abstract painter, I do feel I focus on that. I try to, the emotional part of the art. That's all I can say.
And what emotion does it evoke for you? What does it mean to you?
That one, what it means? I can be poetic and I can be all those things, but I'm not going to. It's a painting.
It's a painting, and I love that.
It's a painting.
It's a painting. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here with us today, Sonia Stark.
Thank you.
You heard it here with Sonia Stark today. Just be open, embrace it, let it be. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight on The Artist Forum. I'm Dyllon Burnside, your host.
The Artist Forum. Get connected, be heard. The Artist Forum is a place where artists of all disciplines can network, collaborate, and showcase their work. On the Artist Forum's AFTV, you'll see interviews with New York's emerging talents in theater, dance, music, visual arts, the written word, as well as insights from industry insiders. Watch us on MNN Channel 4 every other Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I'm Elliot Torres, and I'll see you on the Artist Forum.